Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me today. In this video, we are going to step back in time and take a closer look at one of Chrysler's most recognizable cars from the late 90s, the 1999 Chrysler Sebring. Whether you remember seeing this car on the road when it first came out, or you're simply curious about what made it stand out, this review will walk you through its design, performance, and overall vibe as a car that tried to balance style, comfort, and affordability. When Chrysler launched the Sebring in the 90s, it was clear that they were aiming at people who wanted something practical but also sporty, enough to catch attention. By 1999, the Sebring was available in both a coupe and a convertible version. And if you've seen it before, you'll agree, the car carried a look that was sleek for its time. The coupe had those smooth body lines, a low stance, and a front fascia that gave it a little bit of aggression without being too much. The convertible, on the other hand, really stood out. It had a reputation as a fun, summer-ready car, a vehicle that looked good driving along the coast with the top down. Now let's talk about what was under the hood. The 1999 Chrysler Sebring offered a couple of different engine options, depending on which model you went for. The base trims came with a 2.0-litre or 2.4-litre inline-4 engine, which delivered modest power. Nothing crazy but enough for daily driving. If you moved up to the higher trims, you could find a 2.5-litre V6, which pushed the performance just a little bit higher. This wasn't meant to be a sports car, but the V6 gave drivers smoother acceleration and a more confident highway drive. The transmission choices were either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. Of course, most people ended up with the automatic, but the manual gave a more engaging driving experience. Inside the car, Chrysler kept things fairly simple but functional. The dashboard had a clean design, and most of the controls were straightforward to use. You wouldn't call it luxurious by today's standards, but in the late 90s, it felt decent for the price point. Cloth seats came standard, though some trims offered leather, especially in the convertible models. The cabin had enough space for a couple of adults in the front, but like many coupes, the rear seating was tighter. The convertible version, while stylish, also sacrificed some practicality with a smaller trunk when the top was down. Still, it delivered what buyers in that segment wanted. A car that made driving feel like an experience, not just a commute. On the road, the Sebring was known for being comfortable and reasonably smooth. It wasn't built for sharp cornering or sports performance, but it handled daily driving duties well. The steering was light, the ride was relaxed, and it had that cruiser kind of personality. You could say it was more about style and presence than raw driving dynamics. In terms of safety and reliability, the car had a mixed reputation. Some owners praised its durability, while others had issues with the V6 engine and the automatic transmission over time. But that's something you'll often hear when looking back at cars from this era. Maintenance and care made a big difference. What really helped the 1999 Chrysler Sebring make its mark was its image. It wasn't just transportation. It was a car that gave you style without the premium price tag. For younger buyers, or for families wanting a second car with personality, it offered just the right balance. The convertible especially became popular among people who wanted an affordable way to enjoy open-top driving. Today, when you see a 1999 Sebring, it definitely feels like a throwback. The design screams late 90s, and while it may not compete with modern cars in terms of technology or performance, it still holds a nostalgic value. For car enthusiasts or collectors, it represents a piece of Chrysler's history, a time when American automakers were experimenting with more stylish designs in the mid-size segment. So, that's a closer look at the 1999 Chrysler Sebring, a car that wasn't perfect, but one that carried charm, personality, and a touch of fun. If you're into cars from this era, it's definitely one to remember.